Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian Forex section, and starting with the Aussie US here. Look, not a lot of change, it's all on track. We're looking for a bounce off the 72. It's obviously come in a bit earlier than expected, but it hasn't really sort of concerned us because we weren't short in that particular zone. We're looking for a retracement now. There's a couple of different counts we've got on this in this move coming down through here. On the website you'll see that we have this low as a wave 3, looking for a wave 4 to come back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, and then a move down as well. Now our strategy was to have a short position up here, to have a short position over here as well. Now if the wave count on the website is correct, then we'll come down shortly after we've got this sort of little ABC correction sort of happening here, which will move up to this area here, then move down, and then we'll get our ABC bounce. So in one way or another we're going to get it, and I just think that we just stand aside and allow this to play out and wait for the setup. It's as simple as that, really. So obviously scalping is a different ball game, so to speak, catching small little trends. But in terms of actually, being in real trends, larger trends, I should say, we're waiting for the bounce off the 72 still, and moving in from there. So nothing really to do at that stage there. The other setup that is falling into place very nicely is the New Zealand US dollar here. So very much like the Australian dollar in the sort of bigger picture here, in terms of this correction of an A and a B and a C wave up here. So we're sort of nailed in the top there. We're quite happy with that. The move down through here appears to be in 5 waves, so we're looking for a corrective ABC pattern and then ready to short. So on that basis, let's just go in and have a look at this here. Let me just get this chart sort of organized a little bit. Not everything goes to the textbook sort of standard, really. So if we look at this move down here, we're looking at an A and a B and a C wave to come in. This is the lower end is the 50%, the top is the 61.8%. These other two lines here are, let me explain them. This first line here is the equality. That means that wave A and wave C would be the same length. And the top line here, which is quite close to the 61.8%, that's an extension of this first wave here. So they're really all sort of boiling into this 69 number here. But at the same time, we need to be a little bit mindful. As I say, things don't always play out as you expect them. So the main point here is that if the market just drops down through here, if it moves through here, be assured that there's a very strong possibility, up in, when I say strong and assured, it's sort of up in the 90% area, that there'll be a retest there. Just like there was here, the market moves down, moves up, and then, that would be the short setup there. If the market moves through that area, okay, that's the way, that's the safe journey there. Let's just say this market works itself up through into this area here. If you're going to short this here, do it with a very small position, because if the market's going to move back down, then it's going to do the same thing as we got here. It's going to move through the trend line somewhat and then retest it and then break down here again, and that would be the thing here, or you can get in closer if you want. Sometimes you might see that it doesn't come down onto the new low here, it just comes some way down and then retests it again for the second time. That happens quite often, so be a little bit prepared for that, and you get used to that and working how to deal with them, and they're just issues that you need to resolve at the time. But it's all about support and resistance for me, and setups and signals and money management. It boils down to very simple things at the end of it. So look, anyway, all going according to plan, and find a way in, really, but we'll keep an eye on it. Okay, I want to have a look at the Euro Aussie as well. Okay, so there's a setup coming in here, as you probably already know, and the pound Aussie we're doing much the same as well. Now, I won't look at the pound Aussie today because they're both basically not ready yet. So we've had this this nice move up here, and we're looking at this as an A wave, excuse me, B wave, and a C wave here. And then, as you know, we're looking up for wave 1 here, and we're looking back for wave 2. And then we want to go long in wave 3 here. We want to build into this particular trade here. So we've still got plenty of time. We just need to sort of chill on it. And that's the sort of thing, I guess, you know, when the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar are ready to short, well, then these ones will be ready to trade on the long side. So give it a little bit of thought where you're going to park your spondoolies, so to speak. And yeah, and it's always worthwhile to sort of have a little sort of spread trade sort of happening, long as you don't get sort of caught you know, doing the splits on the situation. So, but look, anyway, I haven't studied this a lot, but I thought that would be something like down for 1, back for 2, down for 3, back for 4, down for 5 here. So if we get this 5th wave down here, then you'll get 3 waves off here, bouncing off this number here. And of course, this number here, as you may know, is got a 3 in it, so it's group 1, isn't it? So from the medium level here, 150, 1.5, we've got 1, 2, and 3, and that's all of group 1. And we can always expect to bounce off group 1 to come back to the 4, and then work lower from that stage. It always gets, when you're shorting into these, when a market's moving down into these numbers, they get bouncy. So I tend not to short in these particular levels here. But we do use these levels in going long to build supports on them because it's a climbing process here. This is just a ball bouncing, plus you've got orders going on here. So it gets a bit rough. If the 52, the number 2 here, becomes the retested resistance, then you can be pretty much assured that the market is locked into group 1 at that point and will be pulled down to the 150. The 50 and the 60% retracement level is down here. Will it get here? I never really worry about it. Let's allow the first leg to unfold, and then we can basically work out a closer target area for this one as well. But being a wave 2, it will be a simple zigzag correction of 5 waves, 3 waves, and 5 waves. That's what we're looking for. So if that pans out, then we can look for long trades at this area here. If we make a new high here, or the 155s get support, well, then we'll be getting new highs, and then we'd be looking for the important numbers to the upside. 156.50. Try to get it there, and of course the profit taking number 58 here. They're the ones. They're going to be your biggest problems on the way up there. So group 1, 55, the midpoint, and getting into group 2 here. And group 2 has got other levels in there as well. But halfway between 5 and 8 is this number here, and it will play a part there. So if it moves up, then you know that you can trade up to the 58 at that point, because that's where the bids will be really hit at that point. But if this all pans out, then we've got ourselves a long trade from here. The other long trade we're sort of chuffing along at the moment is still there, is the Bitcoin. And there's no real change in all of this. It's you know, it's possible that we could have this as an A wave to here and a B wave to here and a C wave up to this point, up to here, and then down for 1, ABC, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2, and drop through here. So we'll keep an eye on that. But if it does drop through here, then I'd also like to look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 down here, 4 and 5. So it's going to come close to the stops, but I'll look at that a little bit closer. We don't want to get sort of flicked out of it for no particular reason, but at the same time, we don't want a winning trade to turn into a losing trade. So if this is breached, this line here, down in this area here, and the market drops through it, it'll go back and retest it, okay? So if you put your line under here, and if the market moves through here, then you would exit, okay? So that could be your exit point, because then you'd lock it in nicely here. So if we do something like that, that can be a little temporary stop there. Maybe even just to take sort of 50% of the money off the table at that point there as well. But I'll leave you to think about that. But obviously it's sitting nicely on this trend line, and if all the players are comfortable with that, hopefully we can keep that there. But it's just, anyway, I don't need to draw it out too much. You got the idea. So if it retests the trend line and then fails from that point, then perhaps take an exit or part exit or something or other anyway, Okay, just clean that up there. Okay, well, look, that's about it. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.